Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where last episode we dealt with two heavy bombers who basically one-shot our jerry-rigged demolisher before we could do anything about it. Jammer may or may not be dead. There's a small chance that he gets rescued by our upgrades, but he's probably dead. And we'll see if we are able to get the jerry-rigged demolisher back or not. We're attacking this base. We've destroyed one turret. We've destroyed a full lance of defenders. And there's this UAC turret here with dual AC-20s. That's spooky. The other turrets aren't nearly as spooky. There's also a Lynx, an Avatar, a Jaeger, and someone else that we don't know about up over here. So our Black Knight moves now. We want to protect our right-hand side here. So I'm going to position our left over, put us in cover, and we're going to fire on this hardened UAC emplacement. I'm going to fire in binary mode, probably. Yeah, binary mode is fine here. It doesn't really matter, I don't think.
Taking the shot.
But there's a lot of damage dealt to that hardened UAC emplacement. Almost half of its armor gone. So a phase 17 mover is going to be this Jaeger. It is going to position out over there, firing on our archer. Okay. Our archer's reasonably fresh for the moment, so not a major problem for that one. Next up is our crossbow. Now the crossbow can move up over here. We can fire on that hardened UAC emplacement, or we can fire up this direction. Hit odds are incredibly low out here for now, so I'm going to fire on the UAC emplacement. We need to soften this up. We need to get this thing gone. Are we better off in any of these modes? Yes, actually. I'm going to fire in listen kill. We want to do maximum damage to this hardened UAC emplacement. So that looks good. Next is our Devastator. Can we get that into position to fire on that UAC emplacement? The answer is no, sadly. So instead, we're going to be far better off positioning it here and then firing on that heavy mortar turret. Should we fire in precision? It doesn't matter. Okay.
Firing.
Those shots, or one of those shots, was terrible. The other one was okay. So the Epi Prime is going to step up over here. I'm hoping that we have access to that hardened UAC turret. That's access. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to fire on this guy with everything we have. We need to get rid of it.
Attacking from position.
That's some really good shooting there. Come on, crits.
Let's go.
There we go. Beautiful. So that UAC turret doesn't get another shot on us. That hurt the first time.
This heat. It's frying
So,
my internals.
that's 50% of the turret's gone. That Avatar's running around up here. Firing on the Devastator. For the moment, the Devastator's okay, but we know its armor on this side is kind of weak. So that is definitely noted. Next up is our Marauder. The Marauder can position out over here. This is not in LOS of either of these turrets. We can fire on that Lynx, which is a 19.3% hit chance. And that's actually our best hit chance, remarkably. Well, we'll see what happens.
Firing on target.
Yeah, okay.
Well done. Here we go.
That's not surprising that we missed that. That's not surprising in the slightest.
Orders?
So next up would be our Grasshopper, and the question is, where do we want to put it? Well, we could put it here and fire on this heavy Calliope, and I think we should do that. So we'll get no damage dealt to it whatsoever, okay? I was hoping to get some armor damage dealt to it. Next up would be our SPG. And honestly, we don't know where the third unit is here, but I think that we should fire on either the Jaeger or the Avatar. I'm going to fire on the Avatar here.
All right,
And let's see what that artillery gets done. Ooh, that was a pretty decent shot, actually. I like it. So they end up sensor locking our Marauder and then going for the Epi Prime. That's fine. And then the Mortar's going for the Devastator. That's a lot of hits on the Devastator there.
This isn't looking too good.
Okay, we might need to eject the Devastator. That's probably not the worst of ideas. It doesn't move for a while. So next up is our Crossbow X, and that doesn't get into range of anything. I'm just going to move it up over here for now. Next is our Rifleman, and that does get into range of some things out over here. We're not going to want to take this shot on that Lynx, but we could definitely fire on the Avatar or on the Jaeger, and there's good possibilities of stray shot out over here too. Let's fire on the Avatar at slightly higher hit odds. That was indeed a stray shot. Okay, we'll take that.
I hear ya.
So the archer is going to step slightly forward here,
Don't need to tell me twice.
and we should fire on somebody out here. Probably the Jaeger, or are we better off firing indirect on these turrets? Honestly, I think we're better off firing indirect on the turrets. The mortar turret is, in my opinion, the more dangerous of these,
Tell me what
so
to shoot.
let's light that guy up a bit,
Come on,
lessen his armor
headquarters.
significantly.
It's go time.
Receiving.
Next up is our regular crossbow. So I'm going to move that slightly forward here. We're pretty out of range for these guys still. I do want to fire on that heavy mortar turret. Listen kill is fine here. Excellent.
Hot damn, let's
Almost through the armor there. Looking good.
Receiving
The Epi Prime is going to step forward up over here. It can fire on that heavy Calliope. Unfortunately, the light AC-20 is jammed right now, so all we can fire is the MRM, but that does give us a chance to sink some heat, and we'll shred off some armor off of that Calliope. Okay, the light AC-20 is now unjammed, and what do they have over here? Well, this might be the Lynx, or it might be the unit that we don't know about. Okay, so the Lynx dropped off our sensors briefly there. Firing on the Epi Prime. Dual large laser. Noted.
Orders.
Okay. The Marauder is probably looking to position somewhere out over this way, more as bait than anything else.
Copy that.
Checking in on the hit odds on that Lynx, that should be a little bit better than some of the others perhaps, but 16.9, 16.9, and 14.7. Given those odds, I'm going to fire this on the Avatar because we have the stray shot potential.
Yes. Give
We
them
didn't get it,
everything you've
but it was
got.
worth a shot. Okay, next up
Waiting
is
for
our Nidhogg. I'm going to move the Nidhogg up over this direction. I'm going to fire on the heavy mortar turret. I am going to fire an Arrow 4 here. Do we want to fire one of these guided bombs? This would basically guarantee the kill. Do it.
Oh, yeah. It's on.
And it didn't get the kill. Okay. So the heavy mortar turret is still alive here. That is sad. That's an assassin? Okay, noted. So they're attacking the Marauder. No problem whatsoever there. Next up is
ready.
going to be the Black Knight. Once again, we want to protect that right side. So I want to position it somewhere around here, protecting the right side. It doesn't have LOS on those turrets. So we'll put it there. We could fire on the Assassin, 25.4, 30 on the Lynx. Okay. The Avatar, we only can fire the binary laser. Were we close enough out over here to fire anything else? ER medium. I'm going to fire on the Avatar in X2 mode. We may stray shot.
confirmed.
We did? Twice. Beautiful.
All right, hit him hard now.
That's what we want to see. Hitting that Jaeger. So next up is
I'm
going to be our
rotating you.
Devastator. Now the Devastator is possibly in a position where we just want to eject it. Yeah, let's just eject the Devastator here and
Punching
call
out.
that good. So we should get the Devastator back without any problems. It soaked up a fair amount of damage there, and that should be great. They're firing on the Epi Prime there. Okay. The Epi Prime is taking
Minimal
some
damage on
reasonably heavy damage. That was from the Jaeger. Okay. Next up is the Avatar, also firing on the Epi Prime. Ow.
I'm hit.
I wish I knew what that damage dealt. I know we're knocked down. Something blew up there. I don't know what it was. We can't move the camera. Okay. What did we lose though? This leg? That had nothing at all in it. Okay. Well, that'll take some time to put back together, but that's not the end of the world. So the Grasshopper is going to step forward up over here. I want to probably fire on the heavy mortar turret here. I'd really like this to go away. 73.6% chance.
Oh,
And there we
hell
go.
yeah.
No more heavy mortar turret. That's
Turret
great.
destroyed.
So next up is going to
How's
be
it going?
our Marksman SPG. So I'd like to fire on perhaps the heavy Calliope, perhaps the Assassin here, but perhaps these heavies up here. Maybe continuing to hit the Avatar.
Give him everything
A
you got.
reasonable shot there. Not a great one, but a reasonable one. So they're continuing to hit the Epi Prime. Now, Brick is on 1 HP right now,
Reporting.
and that is definitely understood. They're going to try to focus fire him as best they can. However,
You've got my
our
attention.
Crossbow X is now up in position to attack one of these guys, specifically the assassin, and that's fine. We're going to take this shot. It's low hit odds, but we could get a lot done in theory if we roll well here. We soften up its side armor a little.
SRMs are out.
Okay, that's fine. Next up is going to be our rifleman. I would like the rifleman to sit about here. We can fire on that assassin, we can fire on the Jaeger, or on the Avatar. Hit odds are best on the Avatar, and I'm going to take that.
Target acquired.
Okay, we got one hit on the Avatar there. It's very long range. This is not surprising that we're having some issues out this way. So at this point, the crossbow is going to move up
Heading
here.
out.
And we can fire on the Jaeger, on the Avatar, on the Lynx. We're not getting hit odds for any of these right now without actually selecting them, which is sad. I guess we'll have to do it this way, but it's slow. 23.8, 32.1, 57.9 on that Calliope, and the Calliope is probably who we're going to go for here. Yep, it is. So we're going to go for the Calliope here. Do we want listen kill missiles here? Probably not. I think we're going to fire ER. Okay,
Let's go.
so some more damage to that Calliope looks good.
Commander.
Next up is our Marauder. The Marauder is going to continue to head in over this way.
On the move.
And hit odds out here are going to be low due to the Marauder's diminished capacity at night fighting, but we'll fire on this Avatar.
Locking on.
We managed to tag it and hit it with one of those UACs, so that's pretty solid. Okay, so a phase 22 mover. This is probably the Assassin or the Lynx. And if they continue to fire on the Epi Prime, that's reasonably okay. But it's not great. Okay. We'll get to stand that guy up eventually, but he's phase
What can
2,
I do for ya?
right? So it's going to be a very long time. The Archer can step forward out over here and take a position kind of like this one.
Coordinates received.
We could fire on that heavy Calliope. Hit odds are not tremendously great. Honestly, the Avatar is where it's at. We could even theoretically Warlord here, and I'm going to do so. So we're going to Warlord, do a bunch of front arc damage to this Avatar. That is going to be absolutely phenomenal. The Avatar's armor is getting quite weak at this point, especially in that CT. That's
I'm
good.
ready.
So the Grasshopper is going to move up over here. I'm kind of using it as bait.
Roger that.
And we're going to take out this Calliope. We can eliminate that from the field.
Giving him everything I've got. All right, folks.
Or
let's get
not.
this
It
done.
has like 20
Warning,
HP
critical
left.
hit.
Okay. That is very sad. I was really hoping that that would go away, but it did not. Next
Standing
up
by.
would be our Nidhogg. We can take the Nidhogg up over this way. We're closing it in on these guys up here, positioning
Moving
it
to
here,
position.
firing on that Calliope, and just firing the snub-nosed PPC. That should destroy it.
Locked on. Let's go.
There we go. So the turrets are gone, and
One
now we
last
just
turret.
need to eliminate the reinforcements. Phase 20, they are going to be moving their assassin. So where's that going to go, and how much evasive is it going to have? We can kill it very quickly if we can get a good shot on it.
Ready
And
for
that's
orders.
not a useful location for us to get a good shot on it. So again, we want to protect our right-hand side here. So we want to expose our left to these guys. So we want to be angling out over like this way or so,
Affirmative.
and firing on one of these. I'm leaning towards the Avatar here.
Engaging target.
Okay, we got a hit there. That looks like a CT hit as well. 38 damage into that weak CT would be really, really solid. Yeah, there's 4 armor left in that CT.
Red
Beautiful.
4 orders.
The SPG is going to drop artillery right on that Avatar again.
Firm.
Actually, it
Let's
dropped
go.
not on the Avatar, but on the Jaeger. That's completely fine. We don't mind that. There's now structure exposure there. They are going for the Grasshopper. This was the bait that we set up. That's good. We want them to attack the Grasshopper here. And then that's at the Epi Prime. Ow!
We lost a mech.
How did we lose the mech there?
Come on, mech warriors.
That's
It's go
intriguing.
time.
I saw the torso go down. Maybe we had a light engine in that. That's going to be painful to repair.
Good to go.
But it's not the end of the world. So let's move the rifleman up, and I'm not sure what happened with Brick. Brick is potentially also dead. Okay, this isn't going all that well, to be honest. But we're going to attack this avatar here and see what we get done. 44 damage into it. I guess it's fine. We never got a chance to react with the Epimetheus after it got hit. It's just very sad. The losses that we've sustained here, we never really got a chance to do anything about. And that's just all there is to it. So it just is what it is. So we're going to fire on this Jaeger.
Confirmed.
Reasonably solid armor reduction there. That Jaeger can't take too much more of that. That seems good. And phase 23, they're going to be firing on that Grasshopper again. That's a structure exposure and an engine crit. Ouch.
Ass kicked.
Okay, so the Grasshopper is having a lot of damage getting clustered into that torso. We can work with that. It's not the end of the world. I've been saying that a lot here, but it really, really isn't. The Marauder is going to move up, and we're going to fire on this Avatar. I want that Avatar turbo dead. So we did manage to hit in the CT there, but no crit. 62 HP left in that CT. Next up is going to be this Assassin, and that comes back, fires on that Grasshopper again. Okay. Nothing going into the exposed torso, though, so that's absolutely fine. The Black Knight is going to remain exactly where it's at. I want to fire on the Avatar again. No hits there. Sad, that was about a 60% hit chance on each of those, but it's not surprising, I suppose. Next up is going to be our crossbow. So the crossbow is going to step forward. We're crit fishing in this Avatar. Do we have enough missiles to do this? We don't. We're going to have to fire some of these in listen kill mode, some of them in ER mode, and some of them in standard mode. Okay. So the Avatar's gone. That's a UC5 ammo explosion. Seems good. We'll have to see what's going on with the Epimetheus. Even if we end up losing it, to be honest, the Epimetheus was always kind of underwhelming. So we can consider upgrading that. The question that I have right now is, did we lose the Jerry-Rig Demolisher and the Epimetheus in the same mission and 2 pilots?
Commander?
That'd be really bad if we did. We do have 2 pilots to back up, but that would be painful. I'm going to fire on this Lynx. I want to start building up instability on it.
Mech warriors. Show them what you
There we go. And next up would be this Grasshopper. So we want to protect the right side here and expose the left. So we're going to position it kind of like this.
Confirmed.
There we go. And fire on that Lynx. I would love to see this get unsteady, but I doubt that it will. Okay. Mediocre damage to that Lynx, but the Nidhogg is going to make its way up over this direction. Okay. Right now, I want this Jaeger pretty much gone. So we're going to nuke it from the side arc here, and it's probably going to cease to exist. Probably.
Target locked in.
There we go. So the Jaeger is gone.
Show them what you've got.
That looks good. Next up is going to be our Archer. So the Archer is going to step up over here. I want to hit this Lynx in its side arc. And we're hoping to make it unsteady enough. Did that get there? I don't think it quite did. I think it's not unsteady. That's sad. Okay, when did they roll? Phase 20 and phase 20. Noted. So next up is our Crossbow X. The Crossbow X is going to position here, checking these hit odds. 43.4 versus 13.4. That's an obvious choice. Okay, light up that Lynx.
For House Arano.
So that's a lot of damage, including half of its armament gone.
Hit, lad.
Next up is our Archer, which is going to take the same exact angle of attack here. This is a free shot right now. There we go. 1 dead Lynx. And now we just need to finish off that Assassin. So the question is, how much evasive does that Assassin have? And the answer is quite a lot. No doubt about that. It's got almost nothing in its rear arc. So that's noted. I'm going to brace the Black Knight for now. I don't want to move it. The Grasshopper can position up over here, continuing to protect its weakened side. 0.9% hit odds means I'm just going to brace.
Receiving you.
The Rifleman is going to step up over here and sink a little heat.
Reporting.
The Marauder should probably close in out over here and capture the base.
Bummed.
There we go. And now the Assassin is going to move. We'll get to move the Nidhogg immediately after, and we might be able to kill the Assassin with the Nidhogg. We probably can. He's in a relatively vulnerable location there. Okay, so the
Standing
Nidhogg
by.
moves now. I'm going to position it about here, right in that rear arc.
Moving to
We're going to
position.
fire an AGM, and we're going to fire the Snub-Nose PPC.
Target lock on enemy's rear. Give them
We hit
everything
both of
you've got.
those, but we did not
I've got
hit them in
no
the same
ammo
location,
in
which is sad.
multiple weapons.
But we did definitely punch through his armor. He has 17 rear arc HP there. Okay, that is not much at all.
Orders.
So we're going to move up with our crossbow. We're going to fire on this assassin with whatever ammo we have. So let's see here. I guess we can fire SAM ammo.
Copy.
It's not a lot.
Hit 'em hard.
So we'll do some side arc damage there. And then the SPG is going to drop artillery here. We're hoping that that hits the rear. And it did. Fantastic. So our dropship is landing. And the question is, what is the status of our pilots, of our Demolisher, and our Epimetheus, right? That didn't go all that well, but to be honest, there wasn't
Mission
really
successful.
much we could do about it. The game just decided, screw you. And sometimes that's the way RogueTech works. Not a lot you can do about it, to be honest. The question is, what's the damage, right? We're definitely going to have to do some repairs on the Epimetheus, if indeed it's even repairable. It may not be. And is the jerry-rigged Demolisher going to be repairable? Did both of our pilots die? We'll find out. What do we got? That's saying Brick was killed in action. Okay. I'm curious here. Oh, I know what happened to this. This torso was destroyed, and so that was the final health for Brick. Okay, we never got a chance to do anything about Brick's health. So Brick is probably actually dead. That's okay. That's absolutely fine. They want the Ifrit parts? Sure, they can have it, I guess. We don't actually care about the Ifrit parts. So what do we want? There's not a lot that can make up for what we lost there, to be honest. A heat exchanger is interesting. I guess we could take a heat exchanger. We don't need these bombs. We don't need basic cockpits. A cooling pod is fine. A couple of Demolisher parts? That's not a good sign. Were there Epimetheus parts in this list? No. Okay. So the Epimetheus should be fine. It was never actually blown up. But this likely means that our jerry-rigged Demolisher is just gone. I expect Brick to be dead, but there is a small chance that we were able to save him. The question is, what about the jerry-rigged Demolisher pilot? Jammer. We'll find out. That was a pretty grim one. I guess it was making up for last mission. Yikes. Yikes indeed. Okay. But I mean, sometimes this is just the way RogueTech works, and that's part of the fun. So let's see what we ended up losing here. The Epimetheus, at the very least, is going to need a full rearm. That's for sure. The jerry-rigged Demolisher may or may not exist, and we would need to find a substitute vehicle for it. That's fine, we can definitely do that. Yeah, it's been destroyed. Hang on a moment. Yeah, go ahead and do that, Yang. But let's see here. Brick died, and Jammer died. Okay, so it was almost as bad as we thought it was going to be. Now, we need to fix the gamma because this is definitely not the correct brightness level, right? We wanted to ramp that up, though, so that you guys could actually see. So let me turn this down to be about here. That still seems a little bit high. Hang on. I think it was about here. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, so that's all crappy, right? No doubt about that. The Epimetheus, I'm going to cancel the repairs on. We have 2 additional mech warriors, but we should probably get ourselves a new one. So this is mech and vehicle, and this is mech and vehicle. We should hire 2 new mech warriors here, I think. So in terms of who we hire, the odds are, well, there's no odds here. We're going to hire the lots of Dans, and we're also going to hire
Commander
Succubus.
available.
There we go.
New mech
Those are
warriors
just the most
available.
trained, and we'll get them in the simulator, at least. So that's fine. Now we need a replacement vehicle for our jerry-rig demolisher. Now, the jerry-rig demolisher was always kind of mediocre, right? There's no doubt about that. I'm not too sad to see it go. Some of the weapon systems on the Epimetheus are going to be somewhat painful. But hopping over into the vehicle bay here, we could press the carrier into service. I don't think that's a great concept. Instead, I would rather check to see what we've got here. So obviously we can't get a mobile long tom. We're going to be capped at 80 tons here, assuming we get the Epimetheus back together. That said, we could just put together a new Devastator. I'm wondering what this actually ends up looking like. What is the weaponry on this Devastator? Can we go away, please? Thank you. On this Devastator, the weaponry is not saying. Okay. Helpful. Well, we'll confirm this. This might actually be better than the jerry-rig demolisher. We'll see. We'll have 2 Devastators, and that's basically the same as we had before. So hopping into the vehicle bays, we can see we've got this Devastator here, which is running the dual AC-20 and the dual AC-20. They are slightly different, I think. No, I think these are the same variant. A Flamer SRM-6, 2 AC-20s, and 3 small lasers, and a Flamer SRM-6, AC-20, and 3 small lasers. Yeah, so these are the same variant. I feel like this is the better vehicle anyway, so that's actually kind of an upgrade. Now, the question is, what can we do about this Epimetheus? Well, we lost a lot of valuable equipment here. Specifically, an MRM-30, AC-20 ammo, and a light AC-20. Okay, so that is all reasonably fine. The Epimetheus was always kind of mediocre. We can put an MRM-40 in there instead, bumping up our number of missiles. The dual medium lasers is easy to replace. No problem whatsoever there. So a medium laser would go in over here. I don't want ER because of the heat. We'll just put in medium lasers. We should definitely max out all of our armor. And then we have 8 tons to work with. Now we're going to need MRM ammo. And we previously had 1 ton of MRM ammo, and we didn't really have MRM ammo issues. We could put 2 tons of MRM ammo in here and then a smaller ballistic weapon. Something like a UAC, perhaps? A UAC-5 could be interesting here. That would be very similar damage. It would be a little too heavy. We could drop a ton of improved MRM ammo and then put in a ton of UAC-5 ammo. Never mind, we don't have UAC-5 ammo. What about a UAC-2? That's definitely not ideal. UAC-10? We could go for a UAC-10. I don't know about slots. Yeah, we would have to drop the MRM-40 for that. So a UAC-10, and then we go to like a MRM-20 instead. Actually, we should be in here. An MRM-20. That will save us some slots there. That puts us slightly overweight. Okay, I can work with this. So in that case, we would need some UAC-10 ammo. How much would 1 ton of UAC-10 ammo give us? I know I saw UAC-10 ammo. So this is going to be 10 shots. That's only 5 turns of ammo. I don't like that. Nope, I don't like this setup. We may end up going with a regular AC-20 or an HVAC-20. 14 tons is a lot of tons. Drop the MRM-20. Maybe replace that with like SRMs. We could definitely think about that. So do we have HVAC-20 ammo? That's something we need to ask. Yes, we do. So we could put in 2 tons of HVAC-20 ammo here. This machine gun ammo is slightly awkward. We could drop the machine gun. Replace this with additional SRM ammo, perhaps of a different type, like, for example, Deadfire. So that will give additional 50%. Oh, this is already Deadfire. Hang on. I would want probably something along the lines of AX, perhaps? Or even listen kill. Yeah, let's do listen kill here. And then we could put in an SRM-6. I feel like this is maybe a bit of a downgrade in terms of, like, missile output. But this could definitely work. Did we lose any heat sinks? No, we didn't. But we have 2 tons to work with here. So that seems good. We could put thermal vision in here. Why not? Might as well. And we've got an FCS standard right now. That seems reasonably fine. We could slot in a couple of heat sinks. So like one here and one here. And then we have 0.375 tons to work with. What do we want to do with 0.375 tons? Well, there's not a lot to be done there, to be honest. This might just have to be what we do. Okay. So this is going to take 42 days to repair. That's a long repair period. No doubt about that. And I do feel like this is maybe a small downgrade over what we had before, but probably not a huge downgrade. Now, I've got the HVAC 20 in there, and that's going to have a lot of recoil. We may want to consider putting in something to reduce recoil. I'm not sure if we have anything like that right now. We might not have anything on this current setup. We've got clan sensors right now, so this is absolutely fine as far as sensors go. Yeah, I think this is as good as we're going to get for the moment. We're probably going to want to revisit this, but this is a little bit more of a brawler and less of a generalist than what it was before, so that's probably not a bad thing, all things considered. We'll get that going, but that's going to be very expensive to repair, right? No doubt about that. We should prioritize at this point the Bandersnatch. That is going to be replacing the Epimetheus for the time being. And we would end up prioritizing these something along the lines of this. Okay. So all things considered, I feel like that wasn't too bad. Yes, losing those 2 pilots is going to be painful. No doubt about that. But we've got other pilots good to go. We've got others that we're putting in the simulator. It should be fine. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Kintogan, Ali Lee, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12UK, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.